So we've been exploring a few trial use cases, particularly using some of the newer frontier models, particularly the Claude Opus 4.6, which is exceptionally powerful on Advice Designer. And whilst we're still working through the right strategy to safely deploy AI in a way that our users can use it comfortably, we are starting to see the early signs of the power of what it can do. With a couple of key caveats, I suppose, is that one of the advantages I guess we have is that we have a lot of client data in our system. So obviously because of the quality of our Explain integration, because of the data that people add to the system as they go and they build out the strategy and the advice, we start collecting a lot of information about the client. Because it's so structured, it does allow some of the agentic solutions, particularly things like the Claude plugins to the web browsers, to quite quickly work through some information. And the advantage of this approach is that you're less dependent on a sophisticated prompt to try to get the best out of AI. And what we can actually do is use the agent to go through and actually effectively scrape some of the information inside the system here to actually produce some other artifacts to support the advice. This is just dummy data. Obviously, we would rather users do this in a safe way, and we'll look to add some of this capability in the future. But I just wanted to make one example I thought was quite cool. So here we have a scenario. It's a pre-retirement strategy. We obviously have client and partner. Obviously, we have all their information here, fact find data, have all their goals and objectives. We've already done our modeling and our research, so we're still quite big for now, at least that certain elements should be still done by a human. So those elements are complete. But what we have now, obviously, because we've done the work, is we have a really good structured data model. Potentially AI could be of more use to in the future as well. So one of the areas that we do get a lot of sort of requests for, and this is obviously a plan which is quite a sophisticated strategy built into it, so a number of strategies in this particular one, is that we do provide our clients the ability to have an outline for the advice. Now, we haven't built a flow charting solution into Advice Designer for really good reasons, because you all like to use your own ones, and this is actually an area I think AI will get better and better at, particularly anyone who's been using the Claude or Gemini LLMs would understand just how good it's getting. I think Copilot's going to catch up on this front too. So what we actually did with this agent was, I'll just switch my screen quickly here. If we go to the Claude, my little Claude window here, we've actually used our agent here to basically look at all the data inside the Advice Designer scenario, so the client's information, the strategies we're recommending, the order in which we're doing things, and then we've asked it to actually generate a diagram based on even the branding profiles we have inside Advice Designer as well, and basically give it a bit of structure to develop that. Now, what was quite cool about this particular scenario was it actually generated in Figma. So we have a Figma plugin. For those that don't know what Figma is, it's a tool that software developers use to build nice user interfaces. Business that's probably getting a little bit disrupted at the moment because of some of the capability from the vibe coding apps, but the Claude plug-in to this works really, really well. So Figma's been often quite a difficult tool to use, but Claude absolutely nailed this. So we actually asked it to do it, and it actually gave us a really beautiful image here. So effectively what it's done here is actually built out, using the data in Advice Designer, a great visual aid to help summarize the advice to the client. And this is really important because we have a lot of data inside Advice Designer, but everyone wants their digital layouts a little different. Everyone's flowcharts a little bit different. But I would say for the majority of people, this is a really, really good start. And what's really cool about it, it hasn't just used strategy text, it's actually used the data we've got in our system to actually pull out key bits of information. I thought it would be really good. Now, this still requires human review. Nothing's ever going to be 100%. AI will hallucinate from time to time. But what we're finding, obviously, was the newer models are less likely to hallucinate. And obviously, the more structured data we can give these tools like we have in Advice Designer, the better the outcomes are. So just to make that real for you, let's say these clients were coming to see us and we're going to present our Advice Designer digital presentation to them. So you can seamlessly integrate some of these artifacts really, really well inside the system. And the good thing is we're not just pulling a random flowchart out and then it sort of disappears. Once we embed it inside Advice Designer, it's here forever. So that's a great feature and probably another advantage why we like to keep it in one spot. So let me just quickly step through the advice here. Okay. So it's really up front. So as you can see here, we've actually got, and they could probably do with a bit more refinement, but we have a really good sort of snapshot of the advice for the client. We have all the detail inside the Advice Designer platform if they want to do it. So obviously they can go through all their specific strategies whenever they want, which is really, really cool. We obviously have all the cash flow modeling and things built in. So you're still, you're not relying on a purely AI strategy engine or any of those sort of things. We've actually got all the detail in here, all the information is being built inside the platform, which is great. But that little smile, it often takes people quite a lot of time. By using our structured data, we've actually built what we feel is a really, really useful visual aid for the client to do. And this can take many shapes. We can change a lot of things that you like, but I think the Frontier Claude models are really good. Now, just a couple of warnings. This completely chewed up my Claude allowance for pretty much the next 6 hours. So obviously, this is a really sophisticated client scenario, but it's done a really, really effective job of it as well. So we're really excited about where this is heading. We believe AI will play a really important role in our platform in the future, but obviously the key bit for us is getting the foundations right and data models right, and then we'll be looking to add more of this capability in the future.